The systematization and sustainability of social protection in Africa also requires the systematic capacity development of African social protection experts. The European Union Social Protection Systems Programme, managed by the Finnish National Institute for Health and Welfare, has provided an opportunity for some African universities to review their existing curricula and to determine what kinds of social protection-related courses they are already teaching at the various university departments and how students could be helped to take a specialization in social protection-related topics. The Zambian and Tanzanian universities involved have also identified areas where they have gaps, where new courses and learning modules have to be developed. As a result, the University of Zambia has now designed new master's and degree level curricula on social protection and social policy. The Institute of Finance Management of Tanzania, working together with a network of other Tanzanian universities, has also designed a new master's program and another new curriculum for a shorter professional proficiency certificate in social protection. Towards the end of this process, we asked the Zambian and Tanzanian university experts what advice and guidance they would like to give to the EU Commission and EU member states on how to best continue support to the systematization of social protection-related capacity development in Africa. Here's what the African university experts had to say.
When you are developing curriculum, you're developing it for the local people. So having it done here means a lot more people being involved in the development of curriculum. And when you have more people involved, you have more heads, you brainstorm together and you see what it is that is much needed in the context. So it's basically about contextualizing what Zambia is facing rather than getting two or few people out.
Before you even think of designing capacity building activities or training, you need to identify what are the training needs. And then this training needs should be the basis upon which the curriculum are going to be designed. And the whole idea is that to make sure that the training activities that are going to be implemented are demand-driven as opposed to supply-driven.
I think it's important for countries to have buy-in, so they shouldn't. This process should really be meant in such a way that countries, it meets the needs and expectations of the country. So it's very important for these initiatives to be aligned with countries' priorities, countries' interests.
I think in terms of ensuring that the capacity building activities are sustainable, apart from just designing the training activity, there is at the stage of implementation. To be able to sustain those activities, there is a need to use available local resources, both in terms of teaching resources, in terms of human resources, and then in terms of also the infrastructure available, as opposed to looking around from outside. But if it is whatever variable has been identified and being used on as a stepping stone, I think there is a strong possibility of sustainability in the capacity building activities.
The curriculum for Transform and the curriculum for the university are two distinct curricula with very distinct focus as well. What the Transform curriculum is trying to achieve is to provide some sort of capacity development support for in-service staff, whereas the university curriculum is trying to support development capacity for pre-service staff. But what's important to note is that as distinct as the two are, they're both contributing to the same objective of developing capacity within Zambia for the delivery of more effective social protection systems, which could get us to a point where we have enough human resource of our own and enough capacity within the country to develop additional capacity to deliver social protection.
Running a program is not an easy. If you design a program and then you advertise the program and then you have 2, 4, 5 students, it will not be economical to run the program. But if you have scholarships with the certain conditions and the requirements. It will be easy to run the program, because you'll be able to get enough students, and the project will be able to pay resource persons, lecturers. In going forward, one of the post-curriculum activities that we would like to recommend in our report is for the sponsors to fund research and publications for the local contents or the regional, so that these experts could come up with projects doing research on social protections, publishing books for to be used in the program. Otherwise, sustainability of the program may not be achieved, because we'll still be relying on books from outside Africa, but also which are outdated.
If they could send experts on regular basis so that we have a succession planning, that these experts come and deliver the programs, at the same time trying to groom the nationals to take over after some time. So that is one option. But the second option is to make sure we also be proactive in terms of trying now to invest in research, invest in consultant services, also try to create partnership among ourselves, trying to share experiences, trying to send people from Tanzania to Zambia, get Zambian university lecturer or professor come to deliver curriculum in Tanzania, get somebody from Tanzania, deliver program in Rwanda. I think that way we can be sure that tomorrow these programs can take off successfully.
I think one significant issue our development partners should adopt, perhaps I would recommend, is to have this bottom-up approach in development agenda, particularly to use indigenous knowledge to see how can we build on the indigenous knowledge and how can we support existing structures that are there in particular countries. In terms of curriculum development, yes, we are going to develop this, but also it would be necessary to see, and it was necessary that we started it at the base to establish what was existing. But now moving forward is the question of how are we seeing the support progressing from what we currently have, because there are various needs that our institutions are requiring to offer these programs adequately as they require. A lot of resources required, human resource and other material resources that might be required.